Hey guys, today we're going to talk about organization. Everybody has these tool chests in their garage, their shops, their body shops, and they work for the most part pretty good. You put your tools in, nice ball bearing slides, keeps everything organized and out of the way. Or does it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. What I've found with these tool chests is although they allow you to organize your tools, and they do a pretty good job at it, also the other good thing they're good at is hiding the mess that you put inside them. Look at that. Look at it. Jesus, I can't find half the tools half the time, although they're organized. I put all my hand tools in one drawer, router bits and drill cases. Look at that, drill bits. It's just organized chaos. That's not really organized. So what do I've come to a conclusion? What's good with these toolboxes? Nothing. They're good. All they do is hide the mess. And while they give you the shell for organization, they don't actually tackle the organization. They just allow you to fill the drawers even more, just like your kitchen, and hide the mess. So what I want to talk to you about today is a new product that I'm going to try out. It's called Kaizen Foam. And if you're not familiar with Kaizen Foam, stick around. I'm going to show you what it's about. I want to point out one thing. Whatever you think you're going to use, buy more. Because this is when you look at a product like this, you're going to do one tool chest, you're going to spend the time, and you're like, wow, this is amazing, and now you're going to want to do another one. Or you're going to want to do a drawer in your shop, a drawer like that. Whatever you're going to do, get more. And take advantage of the fact that Fastcap subsidizes free shipping. Because it's really expensive to ship stuff in this size, regardless of the weight. When you get into this size, UPS goes to dim weight, and it gets really pricey, especially if you're on the other two extremes where Fastcap, where we are. So, fill a $100 minimum order, get a bunch of stuff that you need, throw in some other tools, some tape measures and stuff you need, and utilize the fact that they give you free shipping because it's worth it. And always get more than you need. It's just like any other material. You're going to use it all. It's just, do you want to run out with one last sheet? So that's my tip for getting started with Kaizen Foam. Let's take a look in the box. So here's what a piece of the 20mm Kaizen Foam looks like. It ships very well. It didn't really get damaged at all. I guess packaged it really well. It comes in these sheets. They're 2x4. They're pretty big size. They'll get a pretty good yield for most size drawers that I measured in our shop, or these typical rolling cabinets. I also picked up a couple of their knives. I actually picked up more than I needed because I really like these knives. I think it's a cool design. Also having a tape cutting on the other side. I got their long nose pattern marker. Don't go cheap on this. If you're going to spend $100 on foam, don't skip out on a $5 or $10 pen. This is an unusual pen. I don't think I've ever seen something like this before. They're also even more expensive than inexpensive through Fastcap that I've seen, at least a lot of their prices versus other retailers. So definitely pick up a couple of these. The knives are good, and I got one of these, and that'll get you started. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how to and how this stuff works. This stuff peels back in layers. I think there's a lot of great resources out there between Paul's videos from Fastcap, as well as some of the customers that have done a really good job to show you how to utilize this product. I'm just going to kind of show you how this has improved our process and our organization, and how this lean improvement has made our situation different. And then I'll put a link in the description down here, and you can check out on how to use this product. And I watched all their videos, got some ideas as well. Okay, so let's get started. So I know I said I wouldn't get into how-to so much as the process. I did want to point out one little thing that I noticed. I did watch Paul's videos and some other ones, and when you're doing a Kaizen Foam, first of all, it's a huge investment in time. It takes a lot of time to do each tool. I've just done 3 chisels, and I found that each subsequent one is significantly faster as far as how I can get it in there. But Paul actually talked about in this video about the whole scraping effect of your finger and really getting it under there. You really want to practice that. It's really frustrating at first because the stuff doesn't work half as well as it looks in the video when he does it. And it's only probably because he's done it thousands of times. It's his product. It's their Fastcap's product, so they're obviously really good at it. I found that the more you do it, the better you get at it. But really get under there and try to lodge your finger and get it under there in one clean layer, because it makes a big difference. So that's my little quick tip for installing these, and then you'll get a much better result. Okay, so this is drawer number 2, and this is my first drawer. Kind of give you, wow, what a difference. Everything fits in really snug. Really nice cavity. This is only the 20mm. Even with these big handled chisels, you can really get it pocketed in there without hitting bottoming out. Things like scrapers and these, I've decided just to make larger cavities to accommodate them over time. I really like the way this foam really grips around the product if you cut it real tight tolerance. So the second drawer fit all my screwdrivers, all my driver accessories, and square driver bits, things you like to keep a bunch of. I will make one comment, well actually two tips when I did this. One is with some of these things you might want to bore out larger cavities rather than particular lines around the actual product where you're kind of set on this product with this piece of foam. I like doing these square cavities so you don't have to cut out like a million little cutouts, and it also saves a little bit on the real estate. Another thing I noticed too with these knives, I started with a long nose pen to mark them out, but I actually found that later on it was actually easier just to cut directly with the knife around the product. I know that the whole point of the pen is to mark around the product. I found it actually personally a lot faster just to cut it out with the knife and go around. And I actually found that it was making a better job because the black pen, while you're able to see it in just the right light, it's really difficult for me to differentiate it from the color of this foam. Perhaps a white would have been better, but I was worried about the foam getting dirty over time and showing. So I would say that for some people they might find it a lot easier just to cut around these parts if they're not too obscure, ornate rather, and just go directly with the knife. You have to kind of find what works best for you. It's not, everybody has their own method to the madness. So that's the second drawer. All right, this is starting to look pretty awesome, I gotta say. I got my third drawer done. It's funny. Now that I'm cleaning out these drawers slowly, it almost appears that I have less tools. But I don't. It's pretty much the same amount of tools. I throw a little oddities out now that I can see what I have. I actually found some tools I've been looking for the last week. That's the purpose of this whole organization. But it's amazing. One of the biggest improvements that I notice about this system is that you can not only see what you have and it's organized and it's always where you want it, but now you're not giving yourself the excuse of being able just to take a tool and throw it in here. You can't just take a tool because it looks odd. Look at that, I throw that in there now, and now I know that this tool should be embedded. I mean, not this one, but if I buy another chisel. And the problem with these drawers normally is you get into a situation like, let me just grab a drawer that I haven't done yet, which is hard to find out, like this, and I get a new router bit. Oh, I got a new table edge router bit. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But then you go and try to look, it's like, God, where is that 1/4 inch bead? It's one of these. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I had all these beads organized by diameter, or radius rather? That would be awesome. Save me time every time I go get a router bit, which is once a day probably. So there's a dual advantage to this, and not only organizing, getting rid of the stuff that you don't need anymore that just sits in your toolbox, but it allows you to clearly organize your toolbox. You can see what's out of place. When you get a new tool, you don't just throw it in the box anymore, although it's convenient. This kind of forces you every time you get a new tool just to spend 20 seconds and cut it into place and keep it all neat and organized just like this. So here's a quick shot of what I did with the router bits. Although not ideal, it was very flexible and it worked moderately well. I think in the future, if I had some kind of router bit organizer that I could stick in here that was made of a durable plastic, it'll be a longer term solution. But I had some questions that were asked on Fastcap's channel after Paul had posted a video I'd sent him on my cell phone about how I did this. And basically I just drilled it with a really sharp Forstner bit. You could use really any drill bit. I used a couple different ones, but the only recommendation I would make is that you undersize the hole. And now I drilled a 1/4 inch hole with a 3/16 or an 1/8 inch drill bit, and a 1/2 inch hole with a 3/8 drill bit. And what that does is it really makes a snug fit so that when you put in the router bit, you let the shank and the router bit reform the hole. So here is my finalized toolbox. It is so clean and so organized, it's scary. I can now find stuff so much easier. It is clean. I mean, the top of here I had probably a foot tall worth of stuff, and I'm just going to kind of go through each drawer. I got my chisels and sharpening. I also left a really generous amount of room between stools. This one's a little bit more high density, but I was concerned about having for future expansion, and I think anybody else that uses this product should probably plan on doing the same. Is leave some breathing room. Don't try to fit everything in one drawer and work your way down. Kind of it's my measuring stuff. I know when I got into the drill stuff, it really was a dramatic difference because this stuff was so disorganized and so much of a mess. I see how much room I left in here because I know drills and stuff like that are just a commodity. It's something as a woodworker that you're going to always expand on. So this is kind of like my oddball drawer. Actually, the way the sheet worked out, I didn't have the right yield, so I just made a little filler in the back. And then coming down here, I kept it, you know, moderately organized with some of my my other stuff. I just ended up not using the Kaizen foam and organizing it as a bulk, but I would say overall this product is outstanding. It really helps you organize your shop. I got another 2 chests that I've got to do that are smaller than this, so it won't take as much time, but it'll still be time consuming. I would say it's a great investment of time. You're going to need to put some hours into it. Commit to 1 drawer a day, and it'll probably change your whole workflow. Now I can come in here and say I need my chisel, or I need my screwdriver, and it's always in the right place, and it's always where you need it. I'm not an OCD type of guy. I'm not hyper organized. I'm not obsessed with that, but I did see that there was that this was a value-added upgrade to our shop and a value-added activity. You don't have to commit to doing it all at once. You'll probably drive yourself crazy if you do. But do a drawer a day, buy 1 sheet and try it out. If you like it, continue. If you don't, well, at least you got an organized drawer. But I hope you guys like my little review that I've shown of this Fastcap product. It's called Kaizen Foam. I'm going to put a link in the description and show you basically my application from before and after in some photos at the end of this video, okay? Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, rate, subscribe, comment. Thanks very much.